course. Not a problem with that. But we will be taking notes on that. What? Do you not get a computer?
No, I USB port.
Oh, I put it over there now, fast. I swear it's in there. I swear it is. I swear it is. It's in there somewhere, I swear. Never looking at it.
Oh. I know, it's not. Like you're saying, young him. I don't even know what that means.
You find it? Okay.
I literally did not do anything.
All right. So, here we go. So, let's start off with a function like this one. So, I'm going to do y equals. We'll do a nice easy one. 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 5x plus 1, or something like this, okay? And I want to find the area under it, but I want to graph it first because I want to see what that looks like. Somebody read that to me in a minute when I get it there. Desmos.com. What's disgusting? Oh, really? 2x cubed minus 3x squared. So 2x cubed minus 3x squared. Can you stop jibber jabbering? Thanks. Shh. What? Thank you. Oops. Cool. And let's make that bigger so we can see it more better-ish. Scream, let's find how much area is under the curve between 0 and 3, okay? So Mr. Groom might want to do this so that Mr. Groom can actually visualize what he's looking at. Okay, so between those two bars, up to the red line, Mr. Groom, that's way up there. It totes is. I want to find out how much area is in that region. Yes? That's what I'm looking for. See? That's bueno. How much is in this between here to here, all the way up to the red curve? Yeah? Does that make sense? That's a piece of cake. Okay, you look sad. Makes me sad. I don't know. Now, here's the game. I want to do that on the, what did I say, 1 to 3, is that what I said? Yeah. Cool. Now, I am pretty much always going to stick with like n equals 100 divisions because when you have a computer, you can do as many as you want. I feel like 5 looks ridiculous. You look like an idiot doing 10 of them at this point. In general, you should go big or go home. Okay? I would argue that 100 is not really going big. So, like a few years ago when Levi did this, because he's Levi, he goes, I did 10,000 on each of them, Mr. Grimm. Okay, weirdo. Good for you. All right. And how far off was he compared to everybody that used 1,000? Not any really. I mean, it's ridiculous. They're both ridiculously close. It was like the one kid was off by 0.0001 or something, and Levi was off by like 3 more zeros, but like really same. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to start off with 100. Later on, we'll do different things. Now, here's my deal. My delta x is always going to be the b minus the a over the n. That is b minus a over n. So that is 0.02. Is that right? Nice. Nice. In your Google Sheet, I'm going to use a Google Sheet because I want everyone to play the same way I do. Go, go, go! God, I hate your guts. And, of course, I'm signed out. Well, that makes sense. Sure. Sure. There we go. Q. Google Sheet. Like a Sue. Sweet. So over here, this is kind of how I do this. I like to automate my machinery. I just find that it makes it easier for me to deal with stuff. So anywhere over here, it's not important. I'm going to go equals, parentheses. I'm going to click on this fella, minus this dude, parentheses, divided by this dude. And I'm going to do that every time because on the next problem, lo and behold, A and B will be different, yes? And then N will be different. I update these numbers, and this guy updates itself automatically, yes? So notice it's 0.02, whatever. Wait, Mr. Kim, on the next problem, it's 7 and 3, and I want to do 1,000. Well, good for you. Boom, fixed. See? It's easy. Now, I'm just saying. Now, Mr. Grimm's going to undo. There we go. Wait, so it's equals, parentheses, this guy minus this fella divided by this guy. Now, you could argue, Mr. Grimm, you should have written it in 1 and then 3. I could have written it 1 and 3, I guess. I should have probably, as a matter of fact. But it's always the bigger one minus the smaller one, yes? That's it. Boom. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to change that. It's kind of pissing me off now that I think about it. What a loser I am. And I'm just going to change the order of this minuses there. It's going to be this guy minus this guy. There we go. But it's the same answer. Yay. Look, friends, right here. This is my delta x. Bam. So I keep track of it. You could set this up any way that your little heart desires. But 0.02 is the answer that I seek. Okay. Now, over here, Mr. Groom, what is our very first data point? Our very first point is 1, is it not? Yes? So watch Mr. Groom do this. I'm going to go equals. And then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to click on this fella right here. Just click on it. Just click on it right there, the 1. And then look what happens. Hit enter. Oh, there you go. That's cute. What would the next point be? It would be equals this guy plus my delta x. Are you with me? Don't hit enter yet. Because every time we're going to go over by 0.02, and then by 0.02, and then by 0.02, and then by 0.02. Yes? Don't hit enter yet. Now, these Chromebooks don't have an F4 key, do they? They do not. Your book does, but most Chromebooks do not. So, what you need to do is this. You need to come back in here and you need to type a $sign right here. Oops, not right there. A $sign, I said. And a $sign. What that does is from now on, because the $signs are there, when I drag this down, I didn't put a $sign here. So when I drag it to the next one, now it's going to be A2. But this has $signs, so it's always going to add what's in this cell every time. The $signs lock that in this cell, so it won't move. That's what it means. Then hit enter. And then drag that baby down to 101, I think you'll see. 101, I think you'll see. Yes? Boom. And right at 101, unsurprisingly, it equals 3 because we used 100 divisions. Yes? That makes sense? Seems reasonable. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm literally going to come back up here, and I'm going to type in my function. So the question was 3x, was it x cubed? 2 times x cubed plus, no, minus 3 times x square. And what is it? Plus 5? Yeah. Plus 5x plus 1. What's the matter? You can't see it? No, what's the matter, dude? You're good? No. Well, what's the matter?
I was trying to do the A1 thing.
Let me try. No, you're going to just... No.
Like, you can't do X, it's here.
Hang on. I get you. A1. See it? Plus. But you have...
So it's more of a mental thing, not just...
I hate your guts. Here, let me try. Yes, that's right. Let me try.
Anyway, how do you get to that?
Let's go to his website.
Right now, number 101.
Because
Yes, what?
the teachers are typing for me. All right, look at notes.
I don't know. I might be getting.
Oh, I can do this. I can't. I just need to
Yeah.
No, I'm
I know, but oh, you're starting stuff? Those two
You like me?
Sound over there.
Oh, well, that's somewhere in there. See, you can make it normal size.
Yeah.
You can change it as much as you want, right? Is that what you have to it? That makes sense, though?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want, okay, well,
That's
alright, so so 3 times A1 squared, right?
Yeah.
And then plus, we'll keep waiting for you there, but shut up.
We scroll all the way down.
So after you hit enter, what?
I figured out what it's doing. It's not letting me select the.
I'll be right there. I'll be right there. So when you hit enter, then this is highlighted here. Then this is quickie
wait.
tip. You can just click here, and then double click on the corner.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
wow.
Wait, hold on. Just keep.
No.
I figured out what it was doing. It's still dragging it.
So listen, dear, you hit enter.
Yeah.
Okay? And then when you're here like this, you put your mouse right in the corner of it, right there, and then double click. What? Yes?
This is not working.
That's what I'm here for,
Same
kid.
error.
That's what I'm here for.
No, you
I'm just gonna.
Well, I can't see the load up so I can actually read it. What is this? Oh, you did it. What do you do?
I don't know. I hit this and then it.
No, as soon as it says that, I'm gonna find it.
Yeah.
And as soon as it says it, I will.
I don't know how you manage that. They'll do that. All right, please pay attention to this deal here. So, now, friends, this is how this works. If I want the right sum, we know that it's equal to the delta x, obviously, times the sum, and we're going to start it like x0, or so f of x0, I should say, plus f of x1, all the way over until 1 from the end. You with me? So we're going to stop 1 before we get to the last one. So yesterday when we drew this picture, it looked like this. Yesterday we had a function that looked like, no, I don't know what that is. Good Lord, that's gross. All right, yesterday we had a function that looked like this or something, and we drew our boxes like this, yes? And we got over here to this one, and notice that we did not, for the right sum, we used this one, this one, this one, this one, all the way to the top, this one, and that's where we stopped. We stopped 1 short. So for the right sum, we're going to go, in this case, we're going to go B1 plus B2 plus ... all the way down to B100, which is 1 short of the end, yes? Because we went all the way to B101. That make sense? So for right, I'm sorry, this is, darn it, this is for left. Fix this, please. This is for left sum. That's why everyone was staring at me funny. Mr. Grimm, you don't know your right from your left. Yes, I do. It's right here. L. You know when I learned that? When I was teaching driver's ed. We're in the car. I taught driver's ed for 6 years in the car.
You.
Yeah.
What?
And it was fun. It was fun. We're driving on the road. I go ahead and turn left at the next light. Honest to God, kid took both hands off the wheel.
I still do that.
What are you doing? That's how I tell my left. And she's like, see, you makes an L. I'm like, get! Figure it out. Which one do you, are you right-handed? Yes. Which one do you eat with? This one. Okay, there you go. That's right. See, that's easy. Idiots. Anyways, this is the left sum. What would the right sum one look like? The right sum would be the delta x times the sum of B2 plus B3 plus ... if you will, to B101. Are you with me? In other words, we're going to go from the second one down all the way down for the right sum. And of course, the trapezoid sum, all we have to do is what? We should average the right and left. So, on the computer, it's very straightforward. If you come back over here, you literally just go like this. Wait, what just happened? That's Excel. Somewhere. There I am. So over here somewhere, I'm probably going to write something like this. Left sum. And I'm going to go equals. And I'm going to click on my delta x right here. You with me? Times the sum Now, here's where you can either, I enjoy the clicking and dragging piece myself like this. I can click and drag the ones I want to add. You see this? That makes me happy. Or Or I could literally type in what I want. So I want B1 colon B100, yes? But again, click and drag, it makes me feel like I did something. Okay? If you hit enter, you will see that according to the left sum, it's 35.62. Is that what you got?
Why isn't it so 101?
Because we started on 1 and we stopped 1 short for the left one. So for the right, we're going to start at B2 and go to 101.
Oh, okay. No, well, you're not supposed to do that.
All right, so let's do right sum now. Let's do right. So the right sum is this. And of course this equals the delta x times the sum of, and again, grab your mouse, but this time we're going to start on B2, yes? And we're going to go all the way to 101. So you can either drag it there or you can, type it in, whatever makes you happier. See, I used to have to type it in old school, and I didn't care for it because it was annoying. So when the mouse came around, like this, so much better. Okay, what do you get?
36.38.
Nice. Okay. Then, ha! One of us is wrong. It's not me this time. Ha ha ha! All right, what's up? You drive. Oh, I know it happened. Like that. No, you did A's, dear. It's B's. It's Y's. We're always asking the Y's. Okay. Here. Stop it. Now, watch me do the trap. So simply, I'll be right there. So for trapezoid, it's equals average of these two numbers. Click and drag them. Hit enter. That's right. What are you doing? That's right.
This one, the decimal not quite right.
Wait, what? Oh, because it's B2 and B1. The right sum doesn't start at 1. It starts with 2. Okay?
Nope, that's not what I wanted.
All right. Now, hey, listen, common mistake people make sometimes is they will do things like, Mr. Graham, I'm kind of in a hurry, I'm doing this, that, and the other thing, and I accidentally summed up column A. It's the Y's you want to add up, okay? But the good news is, typically you'll know because the answer will be ridiculous, and you're like, that cannot be right. Oh, what an idiot. That's what I did. Now, this next step I'm going to show you is so easy. And if you're smart, you're going to do what I do on this next part of it, okay? Okay? So, if it was me and I was doing this at home, I would write these answers down. Left sum equals, right sum equals, trapezoid equals. Okay, on my paper. Because the next step I'm going to show you is going to change those guys. And yet, if you're smart, you'll know not to pay attention to them anymore. You just won't pay attention to them anymore. You'll just be ignoring them. Okay? Yes?
So write them right now?
I would jot them on my paper right now. Or, what another thing that sometimes I do is I copy them. Oh, you hippie, which you have to use Control-C for. And then, the problem is I don't know if I can do this on Excel, if I can on Google. Darn it, I can't though, because I can't. So, paste, yeah, I can too. So then I'll go to paste. I'll go paste values only. You see that right there? And so I pasted it values only. So watch what happens. If I change something over here, you see how everything here updates? You see that?
Yes.
But the values that I pasted down here didn't change. You see that? So that's what I do a lot of times, is that I will just paste values only somewhere in my paper so that I'm not confuzzled in a minute. But it's usually best to write them on a sheet of paper as you're going. Because in a minute I'm going to change one thing and everything else is going to update. It's going to be so sweet in a minute, okay? What? I would love to, dear. Love to. Yeah, what?
I just wrote it down.
Me too.
This
I'm
one
trying
should
to
be,
figure out how we did that.
this one
But,
should, this one, okay, this one should be B1 to B100.
Pay special.
Edit, pay special.
I know how to
And
do
then
that.
this one should just be 2 to B101. These are still easy.
Huh? Oh yeah. I'm gonna get cards, so I gotta call it. It's just cheap.
That was going back on this station.
And then is he again here in the back?
Fart,
Yeah.
hippie,
Then came.
copy, paste.
It's right there.
Oh, crap.
Can you knock it off, thanks? Alright, just focus, what you should have, that should have been on B1. You're off by 1 row, are you with me? And just kind of screw it, just don't worry about it right now, okay? Don't screw it, just do the next one right, okay? Alright, now, so, if you recall from the other day, when we did the midpoints. So if you had a function like this, and here is, let's 0, let's say, and here is x equals, I don't know, 1, let's say. The midpoint would be at where? 0.5, obviously. Right? And then how far will it be to the next midpoint? A full delta x, yes? So the only thing we have to change on this problem, and I mean the only thing we have to change, is one box over here on our spreadsheet. Just one box. And it's right here. Let me show you where it's at. Maybe I will. It's right here. So if you click on A2, and you simply go, wait for it, divide by 2 at the end of that. That means this is going to be our very first midpoint. It's going to be 1.01, yes? Yes? And then from there on, they'll all update, won't they? It'll be 1.03, 1.05, and so forth, correct? I just hit enter. It's 1.01, yes? And everybody else updated, didn't it? Now, if you scroll to the bottom, you will see that the last one is 2.99. Yes, the last one is our last midpoint, right? Meaning that, wait for it, if I were to do midpoint, it would be the sum of from here down. Don't I already have that somewhere? I do. It is right now the right sum. What used to be the right sum right here is now the midpoint sum. That's him right there. Notice I didn't have to do anything except change that one cell over there. What does this one mean? Nothing. What does this one mean now? Nothing. But this right one, what used to be our right sum, after I changed this one cell, has now become our midpoint formula. Okay. Okay, we're going to do another one. You ever got that down? Again, it behooves you to write this on paper. Okay? Because when you change crap, everything changes. Okay? And it's just weird, and people get, well, that used to be 7. Well, it did on the previous problem or whatever, okay? But now it's different. Now, click on the little plus sign down here. We'll add a sheet. Okay? And we're going to do another one. And I think I want to do square root of x plus 5x minus 3.3x squared plus 10. Sure. I don't know what that looks like, so I'm going to go ahead and graph it on Desmos, just because I want to make sure that it turns out the way I want it to, kind of. So square root of x, what is it now?
Plus 5x.
Plus 5x.
Minus
Oh, shoot. Minus 5x minus 0.3x squared. Where? 5?
Yeah.
And then what? Plus 10? Oh, shoot. Cool. There it is. And Mr. Grimm wants to evaluate this from, let's say, from 8, x equal 8, let's say, to x equals 14 or something. So I want the area under the curve between there and there, yes? Everybody see that? That's what I'm looking for? So above the y-axis, up to the orange line between the purple and the black. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Cool. Now, what I can do over here, not in Excel though, because I'm trying to be cool like all the cool kids here, in my giggle sheets. There we go. Now, What was our, let's come over here somewhere. So we're going from where to where? 6 to 14? 8 to 14.
Should we delete that last spreadsheet?
No. No, it's fine. Doesn't hurt anybody. Just click on the plus.
Oh.
Add your new sheet. By the way, you can click on this, make it say problem 1, problem 2, problem 5, and so forth. You're like, Mr. Graham, I don't want it there. Good, Daniel, do this. Click on this, drag it over here, yo. What? That's right. That's right. Nobody cares. You do you. Okay, now, and then let's do 200 this time for our number of boxes. It doesn't matter. Let's just have some fun. Delta x, so equals, so it's going to be this fella. But if your delta x comes out negative, you screwed up. Okay? Minus it the other way. It's just a width. That's all it is. What are you writing over there? A story? What are you writing about?
Yes.
Are you journaling?
No, a letter for economics that I didn't finish.
Oh.
What is it? Economics or? Yeah, I just got it.
Are you crying over there?
No?
Okay. Made me sad. All right. So 0.03, is that what you got? Nice. All right, now. Oops. Let's come back over here. Oops. Let's come back over to the one I was supposed to be on. This one. Yes. There you go. Good. And let's start at where we always start. So equals this guy. Click on it. We start at 8. You could type in 8 if you wanted to. Whatevs. This guy is going to be equals that guy plus. And then I'm going to click on this guy here and I'm going to put my dollar signs in. By the way, that's called an absolute reference in case you're dying to know what that's called. Me too. Hit enter. And then we're going to drag it down to like 201. Are you with me? Why 201? Because you used n equals 200, yes?
And Levi would go to 10,000.
Or something.
You have to drag all over.
You can't double click on this because there's not something next to it. The computer doesn't know how far to go. On the next one over, you can double click because it goes, I bet you want me to go as far as the other one was. Does that make sense? Yeah, otherwise you didn't know what to do. So then what's our formula? Our formula is equals the square root, so SQRT, of x, so A1, plus 5 times A1, minus 0.3 times A1 square, plus 10. Yes, that's it. Everywhere there's an x, you're just going to use A1 is all it is. Yeah, that work? Thing I like about Excel and Google, it highlights what you're pointing at. So we've referenced the orange, and it's orange in my box there. I'm like, oh, cool, I'm using the right box. What does it give you? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to rush. No, I'm sorry. I feel bad. I don't know. What'd you get? I got 33.6. Is that what you got? What you got? You could, by the way, you can click on the zoom function so you can see it more better. Double click the corner, copies it all the way down. 33.6. Yes, sir. So double click on it. Right here. Double click on the corner right there. Maybe. Paste it down, yes? So then over here, it's literally a matter of doing this. Let's do left sum first. So equals the delta x times the sum. And because it's the left sum, I'm going to start at B1. So click up here and start dragging, yes? And I'm going to go down to 200, though. I'm going to stop one short of the end because I always use the left side of the boxes. Make sense? Do you get it? It's going to be a pretty big number, isn't it? It's pretty healthy, isn't it? Numbers-wise, I mean, I feel like that's pretty good size, isn't it? Yeah. It's no slouch. Now the next one down, of course, Sophia, all we got to do is what? Equals the delta x. Oops. Well, which was, oh, fart. Equals that fella times times the sum. Now, but this time we're going to go at B2 to B201, yes? Right? So if you can click and drag, or you can just do B2 colon B201, whatever makes you happy. There you go. So that's right sum. Trap is literally equals average of those two dudes. So 186.63 or something that you got. Nice. And let's do mid. No, wait. So, Mr. Grimm, I'm going to write these on my paper somewhere. I'm going to jot them down. By the way, you can be pretty sure that the actual average is 186 point something, yes? Yes, I mean, clearly it's between here and here, yes? It's between 186.5 and 186.7, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be close to this fella. Midpoint's going to be closer. Okay, so again, we're just going to practice with these guys. Again, the reason I practice with you is several-fold. I want you to get comfortable with Excel or a spreadsheet. Number two, it's good to understand where this concept comes from. By the way, you can't get much closer than this. I mean, good Lord, we're at 186.6. What are you going to do? What if I went to 1,000 boxes? You can get 186.6, yada, 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 yada. It's still really close. What if I did 1,000,000 boxes? Well, you'd have to use Excel, but it's doable. But would it be a whole lot better? You know, once you're within a few hundredths of a decimal place, I don't think anybody cares anymore. Did you ever get these dotted in? You got them dotted in? Do you get them in? Do you get them in? Now listen, over here, right there, all I'm going to do is add this divide by 2. That's it. That's it. Hit enter. And now, friends, this number right there, what used to be the right sum, is now my midpoint sum. Because I changed that one number, everything else updated from there. That's it. Is that clear?
The only difference of the thousands.
Well, it's like I was saying yesterday when you said, I bet continuity matters. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. But it's good. It pops up. Also, it's pretty clear that if you increase the sample size, the numbers, then obviously you're going to get better. To some point, it doesn't matter, but you can always get bigger, yes? Which is literally the definition of an integral. By definition. Let's do another one.
You divided by 2, you said?
The only thing I did right there is I added the divided by 2. That's the only thing I changed. No, right here, bro. Right here.
No, I know, but I
That's the
got
only thing I changed.
From your left.
I don't know. I changed that. Everything else updates. Then what used to be the right sum has now become the midpoint sum.
Oh, never mind.
That's all I'm saying. That's it.
Do you always divide by 2?
Always, always. Always, always. Why? Because it's the midpoint. Okay? Sometimes I find myself in a rut. I've been using the always, 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 always a lot.
Always, always. Always, always.
You gotta get the right pregnant pause in there. That's right. Okay? Now, let's do another here. This time I'm just going to type it right into Desmos, I think, because I don't want to write it down and then type it down again. It's stupid. So I'm just going to make one up here, if that's okay with you. 3 E. No, I'm going to do point 1 E to the X. There you go. That's gross. Nice. Minus X squared. Well, that's cool. Plus 5 totes. X. Yeah, minus 5x. I like that. Sure. Let's do that. It's kind of gross, though. Minus square root. Oops. Minus squirt x. I don't really care anymore. Nobody cares. All right, great, whatever. Stop, Shroom. Shroom, I'd like to know how much area is under here between 0 and 5. Shroom, at 0, there's no height. Yeah, I'm well aware of that, pal. I'm well aware of that. But a person could obviously, again, write these in x equals 0, x equal 5. So you can visualize the region we're trying to find. Yes? And it's this region in here. You see it. Pretty slick, pretty easy money. So let's do this. Let's do 1,000 this time, just for a good time. So I'm going from 0 to 5. Let's count by 1,000. So my delta x would be equals, by the way, Betsy doesn't care what you count by. Okay, she couldn't care less. Sometimes she'll get a little angry. Like the other day I made it generate 1 million data points. It was not pleased. She was not pleased by that. She sure groaned and wound about it quite a bit. I don't think anybody's shocked by this 0.005, are you? Makes perfect sense. So let's come over to here, and let's start at our 0, obviously, yes? Sure. And the next fellow is going to be that guy plus my delta x. And don't forget your dollar signs. So b minus a divided by n. Right?
We have to drag this all the way down.
Yes. But listen, I find that it's helpful if I go wee, wee when I drag it. Okay? So it's kind of fun.
What is the 2 again? The E2?
Equals a1 plus delta x. Don't forget your dollar signs.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Wee, wee.
How many are you going?
1,000. Why? Because we counted by 1,000, yes? So we did n equals 1,000. We got to go 1,001, right? Listen, here's how you know where you stop. You stop where at 1,001 is where it gets to where we're going, which is, by the way, look, 1,000, it runs out, right? You see this? Let's just add one more row. There you go. See that? And if I drag it down one more row, voila, we end at 5, yes? That's how you know. We wanted to go from 0 to 5. That make sense? Yes? No? Sweet.
Drag it down to a
Sorry. You poor put upon little dear. Now, let's try another one, shall we? Now, back to the top. Back to the top. What was our function? What was it? 0.1 times E is exp of A1. That's how you say that. And then what? Minus A1 square. And then what? Plus 5 times A1 minus the squirt of X. Just, oops. The squirt of X. There you go. What? You hate what? You hate what? Yeah, I don't care for it either. I prefer Excel. By the way, you like Mr. Grimm? Is Excel better for this? No, it's the same. And literally everything is the same in terms of how we're doing it. There is no difference when you go home tonight. You go home tonight, you do this on Excel, sweet. It works exactly the same way. Yes, sir.
Put an X.
For God's sakes. Well, I would have figured that out in a minute when I did it, and it goes, what are you talking about? With an error. Again, everywhere there needs to be an X, you put an A1. Right? That's all it means. Good call. What's the matter, dear? That equal, you can sit over here, you know. But equals 0.1 exp of A1 plus minus A1 squared plus 5 times A1 minus the square root of A1. I mean, you can move over there so you can see that board better, clearer. I'm sorry, you feel free to move anywhere. It's a free country. I care about the children, Seppa. Anyway, when you're in this column, now you can double click and take it all down by yourself. Okay? So I got that. Is that what you got, 0.1? And you click on it here and double click it down. It's still there, Seppa. Can you see it? 0.1. Right, there you go. And there they are, yes? What? This one's old, I don't know. Ouch. 10 years, maybe?
I only got 4.995.
Then you need to add one more cell at the bottom, dude. Hit the bottom, see where it says add one more row? If you're clear at the bottom, you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Just add another row.
I just had it out of my head.
That's what I did.
Or you can add 1,000 more if it makes you happy. Now, friends, we need to find the left sum. And the left sum is equals the delta x times the sum of, and I typically just start dragging and then just change that to 1,000. Because I got better things to do than drag it down all day. And I don't want to hear people whining at me. It's so hard, Mr. Groom, to make it drag. Okay? Yeah? So I got that. Is that what you got? 28 point something? Beautiful. And let's do the right sum. So the right sum would be equals the delta x times the sum. And then start at B2 and drag it down and go to B1001. Oops, that's too ridiculous.
What's this again?
There you go. And of course, trap is the average of those dudes. That is wrong. So there's the average of them, yes? What you got? And then, of course, the only thing that I'm going to do different this time, yes, for mid is what? Is right here on this fella, you're going to divide by 2. Then I'll wait for you, dear, because I care. Right? So change that to divide by 2, hit enter, and this right sum has become your midpoint now. That's it. That's it. No? Okay, good. What do you get? 28.12 something. Great. That's awesome. That's what I got too. 28.12106 da da da. Yes? Nice. Now, tonight on your homework, which you tonight should go home and practice with. This is chapter, what page am I on? Page 461, I believe. 461. Hey, Darwan, can you grab the lights, please? Thank you. Or somebody, thank you. Now, this is what you're going to see on the homework this evening. Well, I'm sorry, Shelby, can you turn the front one back off? So I just want to see what I was reading, the other one. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So you will see this tonight on your homework. The problem with this, it's kind of annoying because they're like, what's going on, Mr. Groom? We are trying to approximate this integral. You know what an integral is. Okay? That's because this book teaches it backwards. They shouldn't do it this way, but that's what they do. They assume that you already know how to do integrals. So you're going to approximate this with this deal here. It's the same thing. Well, they're going to tell you they're going to want you to use something stupid like n equals 10. Whatever. I would prefer that you did n equals 100 on your homework. Thank you very much. And I want you to use Excel or Google Sheets or whatever you have at home. I want you to do exactly what we just did just now. I would save this crap on my Google Drive so that I could open it up at home and play with it. But you do you. I know, but I mean to save it so that you can find it. People that annoy me, they're like, I thought it saved it. It did save it, but you don't know what you called it, so good luck finding it again.
This is just the first one, chapter 1.
Yeah, yeah. So you'll find it at the end of chapter 5. That's why I'm explaining this to you. It's in chapter. It's actually the end of. It's actually in chapter 7 when they do it in this book. It should be the first of chapter 5, but they don't. It's whatever. So anyways, but here's my point. What this really means is this: they're taking the sine function, which looks like this guy, and they're going from 0 to 4 or something, which should be, I guess, in here somewhere. And they'd be finding this area under here. They do it with 100 boxes or whatever I said. I want you to use 100 boxes. I don't care what they say. I want you to use 100 boxes. All right? If they said 10, then literally you could go down to number 10 or whatever. It's the same process. But I want you to get in the habit of using bigger. Okay? Bigger is always better in this case. Now, Mr. Grimm has a question. What would happen? What kind of area is that? That's weird. So before we go today, whatever today is now, I would like to do this problem with you. I'm going to write it just like the book would write it. From -2 to 2 of x squared minus 4 dx, I'm going to use n equals 100. Here's what the graph looks like. Bloop, bloop. Wait, what? Wait, what? What's going to happen here, friends? Look what all of our heights are this time. All of our heights are what? Negative. Dude, are you saying that when the curve is below the x-axis, we have negative area? That is what I'm saying to you. What does negative area mean to me? What means this to me? The big deal is this. Later on, we're going to get into what these things mean all the time. But one place is this. If you went out from your home today, you went in a positive direction away from your home. When you go home tonight, you go in a negative direction. How far did you displace yourself? 0. There's a positive going away, a negative coming home, a 0 displacement. Yes? Now, of course, the distance is positive, of course. You still put miles on your car. You're still tired from all the walking you did today. But 0 displacement from where you started and stopped. So let's look at this guy real quick in the giggle sheet. Boom. So what did I say? We're going from -2 to 2 and count by 100. So then it's going to be equals, parentheses, the 2 minus the 2, -2, divide by 100. So it's 0.04, yeah? I don't think anybody's shocked by that at all. And then here it's equals this -2 feller. And then equals A1 plus my delta x. Don't forget your dollar signs. Now, I'm just going to show you sometimes what I prefer to do. Equals A1 squared minus 4. Sometimes, Sam, what I prefer to do is do this. You see this? And then catch both of them like this and drag them down together. Are you with me? Drag them down to 101 together. Does that make sense?
Wait, what'd you put in for B1?
So I put in x squared minus 4. See that? Apparently we ran out of time. Anyway, suffice it to say, this one will come out to be a negative area, so don't panic about that. So listen, what I want, put your rodents up here before you leave, and then take these back to Arthur tomorrow. Grab them again when you come. Not tomorrow. Thursday when you come. But listen, between now and Thursday, I want you to do this page 461, and I expect there to be a few questions, but you should be able to do them. If it were me, Sophia, I would make a new sheet. And I would title it, numerical, page 461 or something. And I would do like a problem, or one of these per problem. And so that you could go like, I had a problem on this one and go to that sheet. Cool? So if you have problems, which you will have, for God's sakes, ask about them. I want to help. I care. Okay? And then on Thursday, we're going to start on our new